Okay.
It's showtime.
Okay guys, we are back. You are tuned into the STPL and we're about to head into our second series of this evening. And of course
Yeah,
I'm Kix, and that's Rapid.
Okay, I was going to do the intros, but you
Whoops.
beat me to it, Kix. Good to be here. I have nothing better else to do with my life at 5:45 a.m. So wherever you are or whatever time it is for you, I'm glad that you too have nothing better to do with your life. But truly, what better could you be doing than watching Brood War? So it's good to have everybody out here. Thanks for supporting the Brood War community. And if you're looking for a better way to support the Brood War community, you could actually donate for free to the STPL round 3 by visiting the Matcherino page, which you can do so in chat by using, I think it's !Matcherino, right?
I think it's exclamation mark donate. I can't remember.
Okay.
We'll get it sorted for the next one, but there is a new code. It's STPL3. So if you can find your way to there. Yeah, there we go. Link. Yep, perfect. So there's the Matcherino page. If you put in STPL3, you can add a single dollar to the prize pool completely free of charge.
Yeah, so go over there, do it. STPL3, it's super easy. All you have to do is link an account, which you probably already have. If you don't have a Blizzard account or a Battle.net account, well, how are you playing Brood War? I don't know. Like, if you're still using like the old Icy Cup launcher to play Brood War, I'm like, you're a little outdated there, my dude. Also, Remaster's pretty sick, so go get that. Donate for free or for not free, whatever you want to do. And help support great guys like Kix who keep supporting the community, so they're all one big happy family. But coming up, two families that are not happy because they're going to be fighting against each other. It's going to be ReV versus DM for our second series of the day.
It is. Now, ReV haven't had the best series so far. They did kind of run-of-the-mill in round 1 and round 2. DM did make it to the round 1 playoffs, did finish in 4th position, just behind NetWars. Did lose out in the 3rd, 4th place match, but they did pretty well in round 2 as well. Got put in a very hard group. Did go 4 for 4 though, just missing out on that playoff spot again. So certainly one of the contenders. ReV coming back with a lot of very good players as well. So ReV have picked up an insane number of extra people for their roster. But let's have a quick look at what maps they're going to be fighting on today. It's going to be Neo Ground Zero for Set 1. Set 2 is going to be on Plasma. Set 3 on Coliseum 2. Set 4, Benzene. And the ace match is going to be on Athena 2, if we do make it.
If we make it. I actually hope we do. This series should, at least by my estimation, be a little bit closer than our previous one. ReV has just been a super strong team for a while, so it's hard to kind of count them out. But not ReV, Naz has been a super strong team for a while. But for ReV and DM, I don't know what to expect. So I'm excited to see how it works. I actually just wanted an excuse to watch Athena, but go ahead and get into it.
Yeah, so just to quickly go through who's going to be on each roster, we've got PRL versus NarsiL for Game 1. That's going to be a PvP on Neo Ground Zero. Xenosky versus Caspus, another PvP, this time on Plasma. It's looking like round 1, STPL all over again. PvP's all over the shop, but it's going to be a PvP. No, it's going to be a ZVP, I believe, in Game 3. I think Y actually race picked for that. He didn't want to play PvP. So that's going to be on Coliseum 2. And then we're going to have a ZVT between Yaj and Madinho on Benzene for Game 4. Now, just to quickly have a look at Group B, just to introduce the teams, obviously got NetWars did win their first game, so they're at the top of the group for now with an amazing 4-0 victory over their opponents, which was VT, I believe. We've got Psystorm.eu, IRK, DM, Soul Gaming, Red, Clan Revolution. Oh, it's over BWL. I was even looking at the scores and I couldn't remember who it was. But BWL, unfortunately not doing a great job against NetWars, but DM is going to look to make themselves at least even in match wins as NetWars, and they're going to be doing it here with their first two players, their first player, which is going to be PRL. Now, apparently Clan Revolution shirt is very, very small, so that's going to be like that for the rest of the cast, but that's fine. It's going to be a PvP. I don't know how that's happened, actually. I renamed the wrong one, I guess.
Tiniest shirt.
Look,
Okay.
please do not shame the really short, very small people of Clan Revolution. They have very small fitting shirts, but yeah.
Man,
Okay.
I will never fit into a Rev shirt, but if you wanted to send me one, I would wear it. That's all I'm trying to say.
This is basically like an American small and a Korean small right here on the screen.
That is true. I learned that one the hard way. It's basically impossible for me to buy shoes out here, and clothes of most sizes.
Okay, so PRL with a 2 for 3 last round did a pretty good job. NarsiL with a 1 for 2. NarsiL, however, does have the benefit of going against Protoss already in the tournament. Has played 4 so far with a 50% win rate. But they're going to be up here on Neo Ground Zero. Going to be our first PvP on this map. Very big mains, so we could even see something like a Proxy 2 gate hidden in the darkness. We'll have to see how that goes. But of course, a very open middle. There is a sort of circular bit in the middle that's cut out, so it does mean you can't just run the whole way across like you could do on a map like Andromeda. But hard to take third gas as well. But it is a PvP. Very unlikely we'll even get to a third gas, and if we do, we're going to be going late. So let's see how our players are going to do as we head on to game number 1 of DM versus Rev. It's PRL versus NarsiL. Let's go. Okay, so PRL actually played Terran, so it's going to be a TVP. He replaced Kiri. So he's going to be over here in the bottom right-hand side in the purple.
Yep, and his opponent is NarsiL in the blue, as Terran, or as Protoss rather, in the bottom left-hand corner.
Now the good thing is about my overlay for round 3, which I couldn't do in round 1 and 2, is I can quickly click a button and all of a sudden we will have PRL as Terran. So that's pretty cool right there. So there we go, he's now Terran and it's all good. And I've just noticed NarsiL's other shirt is appearing weirdly as well. I don't know what the heck has happened with this.
These Clan Revolution troublemakers kicks.
Yeah, they're causing all the problems. Like, that's it, banned. They're all banned. But no, seriously, they're not, I don't even need to say that.
So Rev is going for a chat rush here. He's obviously having a conversation. I'm always skeptical when I see that, and also when the probe stops in the middle of the map, because chances are he needs to build something there.
Well, there's not really that much buildable terrain in the middle of...
Yeah. So that's what I was actually kind of wondering about, because like, why would you just send it straight to the middle of the map? Like, it's faster if you just click on an opposing base to just go directly there. So maybe he was thinking, maybe he was flipping some coins. All right, do I scout closer long, closer long, closer long?
He was too busy wrapped up in his own chat rush that he forgot to play the game. He was actually, he was typing an essay, yeah.
Well, he is going to scout correctly. Wait, no, okay.
Oh,
wait, did he turn around?
He did.
I think he thought that. Oh my god, it's so bad.
Oops, wrong vision.
Rough. I mean, everybody does that, but it definitely is going to hurt his scouting information. Essentially, now there is a fourth base for him to scout, because he will need to scout the bottom right a second time.
Yeah, the only problem is you get into those weird situations where you're in like a crazy game. You're maybe on a map you've not played before. You scout all the bases and you can't find the main, and you're like, huh. Have they floated their command center somewhere? Have I missed something?
Yeah. I actually watched, there's a hilarious Firebat Hero video on BlackTube, that's his YouTube channel, where he does that. Horrible. He lifts his first CC, floats it to an island base on a map, and then the opponent gets so angry because he can't find him. So it was very, very funny. I highly recommend that. If you have a skill mismatch against your opponent, maybe you're in queue for like 2 hours and you finally get a match, try it out. It's hilarious, but that's not what we see this time around.
Yeah, and also it's kind of hard to do on ladder because there's no island bases at the moment. But one of the other funny videos which I've seen in a TVP is of Scan doing a similar thing, but in his case, he basically mined enough minerals to get another command center, killed all of his other SCVs that he'd built, and flew a second command center away, so he made it look like he was AFK. The guy killed all of his buildings, or his command center and his SCVs, and left because he thought he'd won and it bugged, so that was kind of funny.
Oh my god, really?
Yeah.
My man, Scan. Yeah, I wouldn't put it past him. That's actually really cool. I love the shenanigans that you can do. But actually, a recent article, I think editor on Team Liquid, big fan, just published an article about some of the cooler things that you can do. Specifically, I think it was TVP or PV or ZVT or ZVP. There we go. Finally, I got the matchup right. Some cool things that you can do in that matchup. I think it was Sticky on the front page of Team Liquid. So it's actually kind of cool to see him. And it's not like rocket science if you've been playing the game for a long time, but it really is good if you're just like starting out. Because there's also an overview about kind of the perspective you're supposed to have when you approach, playing Brood War. Some really good advice in there too. But yeah, some of the cooler shenanigans that you can get up to. And currently we don't actually see any of those, but what we are going to see is a couple of Dragoons heading out across the map as NarsiL finally is going to figure out what shenanigans are afoot on the other side of the map.
Yeah, now the cool thing is for NarsiL is he's actually not been scouted himself as well. So you see that very early engineering bay coming in for PRL. PRL knows he needs an engineering bay to make sure he doesn't die to DTs and everything. Not actually adding a turret just yet. I mean, he doesn't know anything that his opponent's doing. You look at PRL's vision, he never sent an SCV out onto the middle of the map, so he is playing completely blind.
Yeah, with the turret coming up, you mentioned the DT potential. He's going to be pretty safe here, but yeah, he did invest maybe a little bit more defensively than he needed to it. Maybe that's something that NarsiL is going to be able to kind of leverage, right?
Yeah, NarsiL can definitely make use of this. I mean, you see him going for that quick Nexus behind this. Has opted to go into Robo as his tech choice, so he's not going into DTs, at least, unless he plans to a little bit later. Kakaru made me incredibly confused because I just thought that was a shuttle, and I was thinking, hold on, how is that possible? But, I mean, there is a million of them on this map right now, so I know you pointed that out in the first time we saw this map today. But just in case anyone just tuning in for the first time, we're currently about 2 hours into the cast, so likely a few extra people.
Hey, for me, it's 6 a.m. here. That's my excuse, Kicks.
Yeah. I mean, obviously the passion is overflowing, keeping you sustained. Some people try to live off the energy of the sun. You live off the energy of Brood War casting, so...
Yeah, that's called inedia, or breatharianism, when you try to live off of light and particles carried by the wind. Turns out it is what is classified as a lethal pseudoscience, because everybody that does it dies. So
yeah, please don't do that, guys. Don't try this at home.
Yeah, do not try to live off. That is true. Brood War may have similar negative side effects in your life, but at least it will make you a badass before you pass out for playing for 100 hours.
Yeah. Okay, so it looks like the Dragoon's gonna force another dead SCV, so PRL still hasn't actually seen outside of his main base. Finally, we see an SCV going across. He actually built a turret at his third to maybe try and take down the shuttle, but not the best position, because the shuttle's not going to be able to see that, or sorry, the turret's not going to see the high ground, so maybe trying to catch an observer or something like that, but we'll finally send an SCV in, which we'll see. No Nexus yet, but has seen the pylon wall.
Yes. So he'll know that at least that is kind of blocked off, and get an idea for what's coming over here. But actually, it's NarsiL that has... okay, I was about to say he's going to have a better idea, but thanks to all the detection to stop DTs from being possible, the observer actually gets taken out basically instantly, so he doesn't get a chance to see hardly anything inside the Terran main.
Yeah, and I mean, oh my god, the turret in the random position actually going to catch the observer.
No way!
Wow.
Oh my god, what a Gosu! That's so sick. I I will now know when I see a Terran player build a turret there exactly what it's for. But here comes the Vultures. Even though they know there's a wall there that we're going to try to run through, get totally stymied.
Yeah, I think the idea was he thought maybe the Dragoons would move out on the map. They're going to use his other Vulture, try and use a mine to push himself through the wall. Not quite managing it. Now, this pylon is in a position where you can do the whole position micro. If you don't know what this micro is, basically if you go into diagonal pylons and you press hold on the Vulture, it takes a little bit for them to stop. So you can actually use it to push Vultures through in weird angles. They can actually get through that gap. So if you're ever playing and you want to try something fun, obviously I wouldn't recommend it unless you practice it a lot in single player, but it is possible to get behind a wall like that. So, I mean, mine's obviously the easier choice.
Yes, and especially when you're playing kind of a Vulture-heavy Terran style, yeah, it definitely makes a little bit more sense there. But, I mean, oh no! He's actually going to lose both Dragoons at the front when he has an Overseer right over them. The Dragoons could see that they were walking into mines, but they were on move command, so... yeah, further intensifying your point kicks that mines are a great choice.
Yeah, mine's a very good choice, and behind this we actually see a complete switch up from Vultures doing... I mean, usually when you see this Vulture heavy style, you see the third command center come up very quickly, an early starport as well for a dropship. Don't see the dropship this game as of yet, but we do see PRL going immediately into 3 machine shops. He is going to be pumping so many tanks, he is not going to know what to do with them. I mean, this single Vulture could have actually made its way through the pylon, but did try and take down the Forge. It is actually eventually going to kill this if we don't see any movement, but some more Vultures going to try and get in.
They will try, but I love the one Vulture at the third base that still continues to try to get in. Vultures are turned away at the natural once again, because that's where the rally points are, so probably not going to make it through there anytime soon. But there is going to be a big force moving out on the map here pretty soon. Not just, oh my god, he's losing more Dragoons in the middle of the map to mines when there's an Overseer. I keep calling them Overseers. I don't know why I'm doing that. I just cast StarCraft 2 yesterday, so...
Yeah.
Still trying to get that out of my brain, but the Observer right over top of the Dragoons, they still die to mines, so that is definitely not supposed to happen.
Yeah, that's not supposed to happen, and the thing is, he doesn't have Observer speed either, so the Observer's going down pretty quickly, nearly loses another one to a turret, but here is that dropship coming in. Now, there is a lot of area in the main to try and defend. There's not a single Dragoon back at home. Vultures move, oh sorry, Zealots moving out on the map as well. And here we go, the tank drop is coming into the main. How much damage can this do? No reaction yet on the probes, but if he just A-moves with the probes, he can actually take out these tanks with probes, so looks like he's going to run away.
Huge tank shots come down. One gets 2 and the other one gets, I think, 3. I can't quite click on it. Yeah, 2 as well. So 4 kills and a free trip right back out.
Yep, and there's a second dropship coming in as well. PRL making use of his 300 APM. I mean, oftentimes, even in my case, you see me spam up to about 280 and then I'm not doing anything. So PRL has APM that fits him. Now he's actually going for a hidden base in the top middle of the mineral only. So going to be relying on the fact he knows he's killed a lot of observers. There's not likely to be that many left on the middle of the map. And they're going to try and hide a base here to get a little bit of an advantage.
I guess that's one way to do it. This is, if this were a Protoss player, I'd say this is the G5 move, where you try to sneak that. But I think if it were him, he'd try to get it, you know, as close to the opponent as possible. Either way, this is a big move, right, from ReV trying to break in. But I don't think he has a real plan on how to, you know, bust a deep tank line like this. He's going to get Zealots down into the 6 o'clock base, so that is the big victory here, though.
Yeah, the big victory is, of course, the Zealots getting in. They're going to be taking down so many SCVs. Now, we do have 2 tanks sieging up at the 3rd mineral line. Gonna have to focus the cannon down first, but not before losing a tank. And, I mean, this tank is going to have its work cut out for him. Does get 4 kills. And, I mean, 6 kills now. Every single probe he can kill is going to be important. He did lose a lot of SCVs back at home. And I'm like, wait, why is the probe built 3 pylons outside of the siege tank?
What?
That was very, very weird. He actually blocked himself from being able to get back in.
Well, okay, that's also not supposed to happen. Ooh, wow. We're just seeing quite a bit. Still Dragoons trying to continue to push forward, but I mean, siege tanks are pretty good against Dragoons kicks, and I think that is what we are about to see. A lot of blue goo.
Yeah, we're going to see a lot of blue goo once again. Now, the weirdest thing for me is NarsiL has been sat on 3 gas for a very long time. He's not done anything with it. He's over 2k gas at the moment. No Arbiter Tribunal, no Fleet Beacon or anything like that coming in. No Stargate even, and no Templar Archives. So either we're in a bugged replay, or NarsiL's not really sure how to spend his money right now. And I mean, PRL is just going to take his 3rd base again. He's got this 4th command center up here that's going to be producing SCVs as well. And I think that's going to give PRL a pretty strong start, but this is going to be the moment that could decide the game.
Indeed it is, trying to push forward. There's not a lot of zealots, but they're in a great position right on top of the tanks. So all these tanks in the outside will get taken down, but there are more behind it, protected up on the high ground with vultures in front of them. So I'm not sure exactly how far this Dragoon push is going to be able to break through.
Oh my god, he's going to try and sack his Dragoons again to the 3rd. The pathing on the Dragoons, so getting through this small choke, forcing a lot of lost Dragoons, a lot of blue goo, but the Zealots and the Dragoons once again get on top of the command center. The Zealots trying to take down the SCVs. Meanwhile, the command center being focused down by these Dragoons. Now there is a lot of Mind Track! Only gets 1 SCV though and kills 2 Zealots, so not really sure about that decision.
Yeah, as long as the command center here survives, and it looks like it will with the tanks being sieged, that's most of the Protoss army at this point. And I mean, I don't know if there's going to be potential for a counterattack here, but I mean, the big victory, right, was killing so many SCVs.
Yeah. But I mean, the thing is, PRL has his 3rd base up once again in the top middle, so he's still sitting pretty on a lot of SCV production. He had a lot of SCVs already as well. His production's been pretty good on that. Now he is going to find the Templar Archives, going to get a nice mine down on top of the Zealots with the drop in the main again. And it looks like this is the moment he's trying to go in. Oh, this could be a big mine. That does a lot of damage to all of these Zealots.
Man, mines have just been kind of MVP here. NarsiL kind of not respecting them. Had observers over his army a lot, and he still runs into them. So, yeah. Either way, both players are, still maintaining their structural integrity. Trying to get double expansions up here in the upper right-hand base, but it still has no idea that this hidden Terran base is up to 12 o'clock. So, see if he's able to figure that out and save his own bases.
Yeah, no, I was keeping an eye on the big group of Zealots in the middle. A deep matrix going down on that front tank. It looks like NarsiL maybe sending too many units into their death. Mines going off everywhere again. And I mean, even though PRL's tank count keeps getting reset, he's on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 factories now. He has his sciences lead. He's going into, I believe, 2-2 upgrades, possibly even 3-2. Yeah, it's going to be 3-2 upgrades for him now. And he's taken out the top left Nexus. Mine's taken down another couple of Dragoons. And it looks like PRL just has complete dominance in this game.
Yeah, when you can both defend back at home against a strong push and get up a secret base, it's going to be pretty good for you. I mean, he is still a Terran player on only 2 gases, but he's got so much mineral income that he should be able to span vultures to infinity and beyond. And it'd be pretty good for the rest of this game. And of course, vultures mean mines, which are being just so effective. And as long as there's more of those, I think PRL is going to be in a pretty good spot.
Yeah, no, it looks like he has managed to save his top left Nexus. Maybe if he does get these Nexuses up and find, he could still make something happen in this game. There's a big drop coming into the main, though. It's going to take down possibly the Templar Archives. Interestingly, dropping a lot more vultures than he is tanks, so the building's going to take a long time to die. So maybe he'll be able to save this. But the Templar Archives goes down, and another mine goes down on top of the Dragoons for good measure.
Oh my god, these mines are just insane. This is, yeah, definitely not safe for Protoss. He's probably going to lose even more to these other 2 mines that have been laid down there. Actually, one of those mines was laid down at like 5 minutes. So, yeah. Well, off the first drop, basically. But yeah, I think that at this point, PRL is going to really explode. Vulture production off of 8 factories. Yikes, that's gonna do a lot. He's also going to kill off the Zealot before it's able to cancel the 3 o'clock expansion, which will give another gas to PRL.
You know, interestingly enough, PRL has only been on 2 gas this entire time, so his gas in his main going to be getting close to depleted. His natural over halfway done as well, so this is going to be a very important gas if he wants to keep up tank production. But I mean, the Vulture's been so strong for him this game, that those 2 hidden, well, the 2 mineral only bases that he took have been a very strong linchpin in his success here. Now it looks like the Dragoons have escorted the probes safely, so we are going to see a 4 to 5 base Protoss. Can he get another gateway farm though? Or, oh, another... Wow, that's like 6 mines to kill a single Dragoon.
Jeez. I mean, that Dragoon, like, I don't know what he did to make the Terran race angry at him, but he definitely had it coming. Either way, very strong hard push coming out. I guess it's, oh yeah, it does have buildings being built along with it. I hear from PRL, headed straight for the Protoss Natural. It's where all of his gateways are. Does he actually have gateways built in other locations?
He's building them now in the top left, but...
He's got 1 and a couple more coming up, but for all intents and purposes, all the production is down there in the main. And if Terran starts sieging that, it gets really rough for the Protoss player.
Yeah, especially when we see 3-2 upgrades coming in for the Terran. No 3-3 just yet, but he is struggling a little bit for gas. He has gone into a couple more dropships now, and I mean, PRL is just slowly pushing his way across the map. I think this is likely going to be the death blow, but we still don't see any additional tech coming in from NarsiL. NarsiL going to be relying entirely on gateway units to fight a 3-2 Terran, and that's not a position you want to be in.
Also, predominantly, this huge group of Dragoons, there is an observer there, but I think mines are still going to be really good at taking this out. Not sure how many mines some of these Vultures have, but you can just run them up onto the Dragoons, lay the mines, and it's going to be difficult to deal with. Match repair on the CC at 3 o'clock, but at the same time, trying to bust through the tanks at the front of his base. Looks like the Zealots are actually... Yeah, he's going to do a great job busting out here.
Yeah, the thing is that Dragoon force going around the back may have looked like a big mistake, but I mean, he did pull a lot of the units away from the Terran's front, or from the Protoss's front even, and that's going to give him a little bit of breathing room. He's broke back out onto the map. He's getting these gateways up in the top left, but he is going to have to deal with a 4 tank drop. Now one of the... Oh my god, the tank's going to go down, the dropship's going to go down, both of them are, before they can even drop anything! And oh, looks like he does manage to drop something there, but that's still a lot of damage to be taking.
These 2 tanks, though, are in such a great spot. If he doesn't pull probes to kill the tanks or just to run away, he can actually lose a lot of them. In the end, he does get quite a few kills on those tanks, so not totally useless, but yeah, definitely not the way he wanted it to work out.
Yeah, interestingly, we've got a vessel over the natural expansion of NarsiL. I think he wanted to try and catch any possible arbiters coming in, but I mean, we don't even see anything like that. Now, interestingly, we're going to see NarsiL go for the top right base, going to play a little bit of the refugee toss style, take another main, but he is going to be disappointed when he finds PRL is already mining that.
I mean, yeah, he's gonna get a big bad surprise when he finds out that basically all these minerals are gonna be mined out at the 12 o'clock. And that's such a huge deal, especially if you play a late game. If all of a sudden you think your game plan is to take a base, but there's no minerals there. Keep in mind, this is also 3-2 mech and only +1 on Protoss. Actually, just now completing the armor upgrade, but still, I mean, this is just gonna roll all over it. And I think this is basically the beginning of the end for ReV.
Yeah, I mean, NarsiL's held on this entire time, but I think his time has run out. I mean, he does have the other main, so possibly something can happen when you're relying on not getting any arbiters, not getting any carriers. And I mean, he's on 8k gas almost, like he badly needed some gas units and he just couldn't get them. And building his tech in vulnerable locations against a Terran that drops a lot, that's a big mistake to be making, but it's certainly going to give NarsiL something to look out for in his future PvPs in the tournament.
He's still trying to stay in the game because he does have other bases up and running and his mining hasn't been shut down, but realistically, his production is 4 gateways, and this is against like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6 base Terran. Yeah, I say it's gateways, but yeah, you can only build zealots at this point.
Yeah, he does have the core still, but it's going to go down very quickly. He needs to build other tech buildings, and very quickly. We've got tanks moving in to the top left main as well. They're going to be enough to stop these reinforcements coming down. And I mean, one thing that I would note about PRL's style here is I know PRL is Terran main, he is, oh sorry, he's Protoss main, operating as Terran. And the way he's been playing, it almost feels like you put Terran in the hands of a Protoss player who, like, has lost a lot to mines. So he's doing everything possible to just make it as annoying as possible to play Protoss. This is unlike any other Terran I've seen play PvP, I think.
Yeah, I think it's not necessarily just because PRL has a different style, it's also because NarsiL is uniquely weak to mines, which has just been such a huge factor this game. So yeah, finally the death push will come through here at the, I guess what do you want to call that, the 10 o'clock location, and there's just no way to stop this. So this should do it. PRL, GG, yeah, there it is. He takes the series and puts, what is that, DM up 1-0.
He does indeed. Now that's going to take us over to a quick break while we get ready for Game 2. So we'll be back in just a minute.